I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your man TP. Today, we are jumping into the courtroom of one of your favorite judges by the name of Judge Brian Oakley for a trial of a sovereign citizen by the name of Cary Stokes. Now, I didn't get a chance to really cover Mr. Stokes' previous appearances in Judge Robinson's courtroom. I believe he was in Judge Patton's courtroom, spewing some sovereign citizen lingo. I didn't get a chance to cover those, but anytime I'm able to cover anything dealing with a sovereign citizen, especially a trial, I want to make sure I do so. And this week, I actually have a few trials that's going to feature some sovereign citizens previously that have been here on the channel and that are newly sovereign citizens to this channel. So listen, it's going to be a long one for this first part of the trial. It's going to be actually two parts. So this is going to be part one, and I will be sharing part two later on. So listen, nothing else to be said. If you need some snacks or something to drink or whatever have you, we're in for a ride. So listen, guys, let's go ahead and jump into Judge Oakley's courtroom.
Illegal to operate a motor vehicle in the state of Michigan when you are drunk. It is illegal to operate a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or greater. It is illegal to operate a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol content of 0.17, more than double the super drunk law in Michigan. And it is illegal to operate a motor vehicle with open intoxicants in the vehicle. Now it's August 31st, 2024. It's about 10:45 at night. And the Romulus Police Department receives a dispatch for a single vehicle accident at the T-bone corner of Pennsylvania and Hammond Road. Huron Township is already there because it's kind of on the border and they weren't sure at first who had jurisdiction over this. So Huron Township Police gets there, EMS gets there, and Romulus is called to come in and take over the investigation because it's determined that the accident, single vehicle, happened in the city of Romulus. The officers get there for Romulus. We'll see. Mr. Stokes, the defendant, was already in the ambulance. You're going to hear from the EMS technician. After investigation in this case, after he refused to consent to the blood testing, and a search warrant was obtained to obtain his blood, the evidence will show that he had a blood alcohol content that night here in Romulus of 0.214. Much higher than the super drunk 0.17. We are here today because Mr. Stokes chose to disregard the law that night and operate a motor vehicle while intoxicated. And we are here because he chose to operate a motor vehicle in the city of Romulus with open intoxicants in the vehicle that night. What is the defendant's defense going to be in this case? I don't know. I haven't talked to him, he's not represented. But I can tell you that after you hear the evidence in this case, which you will hear from the EMS technicians, you will hear from the police officers, you will hear from the nurse blood draw, and you will hear from a forensic scientist who tested the blood under the procedures taken under the law, that you will hear the instructions at the end, and you will be ready to convict Mr. Stokes of operating while intoxicated with a high blood alcohol content and with open intoxicants in the vehicle that night in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Greco. Mr. Stokes, would you like to make an opening statement now or reserve? And you can do it at the podium, you can do it there. It doesn't, wherever you, if you got all your notes there, you can either way. As long as we're picking you up on the mic and the folks can hear you.
You don't mind if I stand on the seat? Yeah, right first. Well,
You're picking him up,
you
right?
all already heard what what I am, being charged with. One thing I want to point out is, pretty much, most relevant is that the prosecution is attempting to circumvent the fact that I had a designated driver. Okay. I assume, because of the police report, that there will be testimony, that Mr. Jason Darnell Porter is supposed to be here, but he's not. He was the actual driver. They're trying to circumvent the fact that I wasn't the driver. Okay, so that's what this really is all about. And like they said, they got all of this, these witnesses and evidence, it's not even relevant if I wasn't the driver. So I just would like you all to bear that in mind. Most of what is going to prove my innocence should come out in the testimony as this trial goes on. But there was another gentleman present. That gentleman was the one who was driving. If there was like serious situation where I was driving, like I say, they were Romulus Police Department was the second was on scene. Huron Township Police Department arrived first. They really made no reaction. If I was caught in the car behind the driver's seat, I would have been arrested by them. I would have been in custody by them. I wasn't. Romulus didn't arrive until I was already in the ambulance. And it was then that they took me in custody. Even though Huron Township, as the prosecution said, turned the case over to them, they still had jurisdiction to arrest me at that point. They didn't. Romulus Police Department shows up while I'm in the ambulance and they arrest me. So like I say, a lot of key things gonna come out in the trial. My witness didn't show, so it's just what they have. They don't have the Huron Township Police Department body cam footage. The reason for that. But you'll see. I'm gonna be long-winded, but you'll see.
Anything else at this time, Mr. Stokes? Okay, first,
I did want to ask.
hold on. If you want to ask something, you and Mr. Greco come on up and ask, because I don't know what you're going to ask. It might not be proper for them to hear. Mr. Greco, first witness is?
Laura Steig, Huron Valley Ambulance.
Thanks, Jamie. Spell her last name.
Steig.
I'm trying to figure out which is
Yeah,
blinding.
yeah. Yeah, I hear you. It's getting it.
Oh, we got it. There you go.
Thank you. Right up here, watch your step on the ramp. Raise your right hand for me. Swear affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth today?
Yes.
Settle in the chair. Get comfortable, state your name, spell your last name, please.
Laura Steig, it's Steig.
Thank you. When you're ready, Mr. Greco.
My name is Steig. Ms. Steig, are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
And where are you currently employed?
Livonia Fire Department.
And how long have you been there?
Just about 10 months.
Okay. Before that, where did you work?
Huron Valley Ambulance,
How long did you work for Huron Valley Ambulance?
7 years.
Okay. And what was your position of employment with the Huron Valley Ambulance?
I was a paramedic.
Is that your current passion?
I'm currently a firefighter paramedic.
How long have you been a paramedic?
Approximately 7.5 years.
Do you have any particular certifications or licenses?
I hold a paramedic license at the state of Michigan, also a national paramedic license. I have my firefighter 1 and 2, and I hold various other certificates like hazmat. Those types of things.
And you have experience in dealing with automobile accidents?
Yes, sir.
Part of the job, right?
Yes, sir.
Big part, okay. Have you had experience in dealing with individuals that have been injured in accidents?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall working for Huron Valley Ambulance during the evening of August 31st, 2024?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall responding to an automobile accident and seen around the area of Pennsylvania Road and Canyon?
Yes, sir.
So what do you recall about that?
We received a call for a single vehicle accident that went off of the ditch onto the west side of the road.
Right, it like dead ends there?
Yeah, it's a T intersection. The vehicle went through the T down into the ditch, striking a sign that is yellow that's posted, you know, it's direction either way.
Okay.
Um,
Police already there when you got there?
I believe that Huron Township Police Department is already there.
Okay, and Romulus had not shown up yet?
No, sir.
Okay. And it appears that Romulus was called because it was in their jurisdiction?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you encounter an individual by the name of Cary Stokes that evening?
Yes, sir.
Is Mr. Stokes in the courtroom today? Okay, where is he located in the courtroom today?
Directly behind you, sir.
Let the record reflect on the witness has identified the defendant.
Noted.
All right, you recall how you first encountered Mr. Stokes that evening?
I do not recall the first encounter with Mr. Stokes now.
Okay, so what do you recall about your encounter with Mr. Stokes?
When we encountered Mr. Stokes, he was I believe already out of the vehicle. He appeared to be under the influence.
Okay, so let me say, so when you get there, your recollection, I know this is over a year ago, that Mr. Stokes was out of the vehicle, correct? All right, by the way, you talked about the vehicle, what type of a vehicle, is it a sedan, a truck?
It was a darker colored sedan. I believe it was probably a Monte Carlo.
Like a blue Chevy Monte Carlo? Does that sound about right? Okay.
Dark in colors.
Okay.
It was dark outside.
Okay, so your recollection is that Mr. Stokes was out of the vehicle when you got there?
Yes, sir.
Is that fair? Okay, so, and you indicated that it may have been under the influence. Describe what you saw when you observed Mr. Stokes that evening.
So Mr. Stokes appeared to be stumbling, slurring his speech to a degree that we could hardly understand him. He was unsteady on his feet at that time, and there was a strong odor of intoxicants coming from him. He did have very glossy eyes at that point.
So you encounter Mr. Stokes. What's the next thing that happens, or you made these observations? So what are you there to do, and what happened?
So anytime that we have a motor vehicle accident, we do need to evaluate whoever is there. We got Mr. Stokes into the side door of the ambulance. He was seated on the bench seat. He was very argumentative with us, very verbally aggressive with us. We were trying to check vitals. At one point, he took the blood pressure cuff off and threw it. I do remember he kept asking us to call somebody. I couldn't remember who at that point. We were waiting for Romulus PD to show up along with Romulus Fire Department to show up because of the jurisdiction area they were supposed to transport. During that time frame, he became escalation of argumentative, verbally aggressive to us. He needed to urinate, and he decided to urinate in the back of the ambulance, which went all over the cot, the bench seat, all over the back of the ambulance. At that point, there was a single Huron Township female police officer that helped us move Mr. Stokes onto the stretcher where he was 4-point restrained with soft restraints for crew safety along with for patient safety.
Then at some point in time, the Romulus PD showed up.
Romulus PD did show up. We did cancel, do our protocols, Romulus fire, because once the patient is secured to our stretcher, we must transport them.
Okay, so it didn't make sense for Romulus to come in and you guys remove him from, you guys already had him in.
Correct, yes,
To
sir.
remove him out, so that it's protocol for you guys to just do.
Yes, sir.
And then the Romulus PD gets there to conduct their investigation about the situation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once that occurred, what was the next thing that happened with respect to you?
We let Romulus know, kind of what was going on. They asked us to transport Mr. Stokes to the hospital. They requested that we took him to Corwell Health, which was the Taylor Hospital where he was transported to.
Okay, the old Heritage Hospital on Telegraph Road in Taylor.
Yes, sir.
And then once you guys transport Corwell Health, you bring him into the emergency room and that concludes your involvement?
Yes, sir. We hand over a report. We register him with the hospital. We let the nurse know what was going on, and then that concludes our interaction.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Welcome, sir.
Mr. Stokes, do you have any questions for Ms. Teague?
Yes.
Ms. Stike?
Psych.
Stike. Almost like there's a K-E?
Yes.
Stike? Oh, I got you. G, hard G.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Second, when you see.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, listen, I apologize for those actions, but.
I appreciate you, sir.
First question I want to ask is, are you familiar with, who made the call to you?
I am not, sir.
Do you recall, what time you guys left in the ambulance to the scene?
I am not, sir. That would have to be on a report pulled from the ambulance company.
Well, I do have the run sheet, if you're familiar with, the run.
Yes, sir. That was typed by my partner.
Okay, I'll be, I'm gonna give you, some roles. We've established already, like, August 31st of last year, right?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm gonna give you some times, and you may not, specifically, recall the hour. According to this run sheet, it says, the call came in, at, 22:49.
10:49 p.m.
Do that sound about right?
I believe it was in the evening. Yes, it was dark outside.
Yeah. And, according to this sheet, you guys were dispatched a mere second later. So you were en route at 10:50. It said you arrived on the scene at 10:54. Were you guys that close to the scene where you arrived for?
That is approximately less than 5 miles from my home base station at that time. Yes, sir.
And I imagine this is, they travel at a hybrid speed, so.
Yes, sir.
It says here that, again, you arrived at 10:54, patient conference. Now, you mentioned earlier that, I was already out of the car.
Yes, sir.
You were
Yes, sir.
right. Was there another you would,
Yes, sir.
did he appear to be intoxicated or having?
I could not recall.
It says you guys left the scene at 11:32. So almost 40 minutes later. So you were on the scene in about 40 minutes.
We were waiting for the other police department to show up due to the jurisdiction guidelines. That's something that is controlled by the police officers. If it was something that was emergently transported, then we do have a say, but yes, it does take some time.
During 40 minutes on that, breaking this was small. Well, hold on, it's it has here, this time on scene roughly 30 minutes. Time to defamation was 63 minutes, according to the bunch. Would you say that's like some type of mistake, or how far was court of health from the scene of the accident?
I would say probably less than 20 minutes away from where the accident scene was.
Is there any reason where I say time to destination 63?
It could possibly be that was from the time that we arrived on scene with the 40 minutes and then the 20 minutes of transport. I'm not exactly sure without the run in front of me, how it looks on their end.
Yeah, that's what it said. Then it says the total time run, 78 minutes.
So that would be from the call dispatch time to when the time that the call is closed, after we clear the hospital.
Well, it seems as though I heard you say that you work for Elon.
Yeah, Valley Ambulance. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you would say that you have extensive professionalism when it comes to doing your job,
Yes, sir.
and you're able to observe things, and then later on describe exactly what you observed.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Greco, any redirect?
Nothing further.
All right, can we send Ms. Stig back to wherever she'd rather be?
Yes.
Watch your step on the way out.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Take a brief recess.
Sure, you do a nice job on the stand.
I appreciate it.
Mr. Davis could probably use a stretch anyhow. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, well, Jamie will take, and if you have personal stuff with you, you can take it with you. We're going to take you back into the jury room where there's a bathroom and the refrigerator with better be waters in there.
Yeah,
So you can take your stuff back there, leave it here. This room for the extent of the trial will never be unmanned. One of the security guys will be in here or outside the door so nobody's in here. So take your stuff, leave your stuff. When you're all ready to come back in, let us know and I'll make sure everybody else is ready. So we're in recess. Mr. Stokes, take a break. Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, door's closed.
Yeah, so the next witness that I was planning to call, I subpoenaed here is Cody West, who was her partner, who was in the back with Mr. I don't really need her at this point.
Okay.
So I wanted to, unless you want the other EMS guy, he's gonna probably testify the same.
Yeah, I'll
You want to call it?
Well, I'll call.
Okay.
Yeah, but on his case.
Okay.
Please hear. That's fine.
Let's do this. I'm gonna go with, if you two are all right with it, instead of bringing them out here so I can talk to them on the record. I just want to duck my head in there and say, look, you guys talk about whether or not you want to take a lunch break, or you just want to see how things go before you decide on if you want a lunch break. Because I always let the jury decide whether or not we break and when we break. All right. So if they just want to say, hey, let's just bull through and keep working, that's what we're gonna do. Are you okay with me having that little conversation with them?
You let me know, good. You let me know when bringing.
I'm ready whenever they are.
Ready, go get my officer. And. Cody.
Cody's gonna be next.
Cody.
Did you catch the name? Holmberg? Just hang out right here at the podium for a minute. What's your last name?
West,
Spell it.
HOLMQUEST.
Quest. Thank you. We'll let the jury get seated and then I'll swear you in. You're right, yeah, right there.
Please rise to the jurors.
Same seats, folks, please. Ladies, the temp all right back there in the room? Thank you. All right, come on up. Watch my step, my ramp right here. Raise your right hand. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth today. Settle in that chair right there. Get comfortable, state your name, spell your last for the record.
My name is Cody Holmquist, HOLMQUEST.
Thank you. Mr. Greco.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Holmquist. Okay. Mr. Holmquist, are you currently employed?
I am, yes.
And where are you currently employed?
Huron Valley Ambulance,
And how long have you been employed there?
just short of a decade.
Okay, just short of 10 years. And what is your position of employment?
I am a senior paramedic.
Okay. And hold any particular licenses or certifications?
Several. I have a paramedic license and then several specific medical certifications.
Okay. And in your position as a senior paramedic with Huron Valley Ambulance, you have the opportunity to go to and handle automobile accident scenes.
Pretty frequently.
It's kind of the big part of the job, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you recall if you were working during the evening of August 31st, 2024?
I have reports from that time, so
Okay, you were subpoenaed to appear here, so you looked at your reports. Okay, do you refresh your recollection a bit on a visual of what occurred that night?
to some degree, yes.
Okay. Do you recall responding to an automobile accident scene that evening at the T-bone corner of Pennsylvania Road and?
I do.
Okay. What do you recall about showing up that evening?
I recall that when we pulled up, there was a vehicle in the ditch that had apparently gone through the T. Went straight through and was down in the ditch on the far side.
Okay. And do you recall encountering an individual by the name of Cary Stokes?
I don't, yes, I do remember.
Okay. Do you recall how you would, let me ask you this. Do you see Cary Stokes in the courtroom today?
I'm assuming I'm sitting over there.
Okay.
But
You don't
visually.
You don't recall visually, fair enough, but you recall an individual. Do you recall an African American individual?
Yes.
Okay, but you're saying you might not be able to spot him.
If you were in a lineup, I probably wouldn't be able to.
Okay, because it's over a year ago. Okay, all right, got it. But in looking at your records, you were at least responding to a scene of a person by the name of Cary Stokes.
Correct.
Oh. All right. Do you recall how you first encountered that individual?
Per my report, he, had already gotten out of the vehicle when we arrived and was, just standing around on the scene with, Huron Police Department when we initially pulled.
Okay. And do you recall any interaction you had with Mr. Stokes that evening?
I do recall some.
Okay, what do you recall about your interaction with Mr. Stokes?
Most of my recollection, is after we were in the ambulance, like, belligerent and uncooperative with us.
Okay, how did you become belligerent and uncooperative?
It became verbally aggressive. He was pulling our equipment off and throwing it in the ambulance. He wound up, standing up and urinating inside the ambulance on some of our equipment. So,
In your professional life, have you had had encounters with individuals that are intoxicated?
very,
Okay, and what are some of the signs and symptoms of a person who's under the influence of alcohol?
glassy eyes, impaired gait and balance, slurred speech, poor impulse control.
Did Mr. Stokes, make any observations with regard to Mr. Stokes and his intoxication as far as your observation there?
He was displaying most of those symptoms, yes.
And you described his behavior, of course. All right, it's in the end. There's been prior testimony that he had to be restrained.
That's,
Okay. And once he was restrained, what did you guys do?
at that point, we remained on scene until Round Hills Police Department was set with their initial part of their investigation, and then we transported him to Corwell Taylor.
Okay, so the old Heritage Hospital or what health on Telegraph Road team, right? And then once you transport him there, does that conclude your involvement with Mr. Stokes in this matter?
Yeah, once we transported him there and I transferred care to the nurse with a report, that was the end of my contact.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Stokes, do you have any questions for Mr. Holmquist?
Yes, I think that you're wrong, partner, all of you from my very first states.
I appreciate it.
I asked your phone partner, if she was aware of, we made the call to, Huron Valley, said, she said she couldn't get off the.
No, I do not. A lot of the time, that's not information that we wind up with somebody on scene specifically tells us.
So you don't know who, you don't know time, what, if I had one sheet here.
The time that the call was made would have been documented in the report, but I don't.
I think it says, Michelle, it's here. We won't take you back, to that night you said that when you were arrived on the scene, I was, outside of the vehicle talking to, Huron Township Police Department, is that correct?
That is my recollection. And
Okay. Was there anyone else there that seen besides you guys, the Huron Township Police Department and myself?
the Huron Township Fire Department also responded with us. So it would have been us with the ambulance, the fire department, Huron Police Department, and yourself. I do not remember anyone else other than those 4 sets of people.
Well, in the, primary rooms. Four. They stated that there was nothing should be named, Jason Ford, of course you would know his name, but you ain't seen other African American out there since.
I don't recall there being another individual that the car crash scene with you.
Well, now, you, as well as your, former partner, gave testimony that, I was, appeared to be, intoxicated. That was.
Your appearance was consistent with intoxication. I can't officially diagnose whether that's what was causing it, but the symptoms were
Okay.
consistent.
So, you just wouldn't shoot, but, it just was consistent.
Correct. I don't have the ability to be able to test your blood alcohol. That's the police can do.
Okay, well, in this case, the prosecution is alleging that, I was full super drunk. What would you, as a paramedic, be classified as?
To my knowledge, that's a specific like legal term. That's not something medically.
Well, how intoxicated would you say? How impaired would you say a person is if you have that high?
It depends, varies, it would depend on the individual and their usual like tolerance to alcohol. That's a hard question to answer.
That makes sense. You got there. Someone with that level of intoxication. In your medical opinion, how long would you say it takes to sober up? So manage and felt that.
Jeff, for lack of expertise, I mean, this is, unless you can answer the question, I don't know if you laid a foundation for whether this one.
Do you understand the question?
Yeah.
You feel qualified to answer it?
Probably not.
Okay,
How
go ahead. Next question. Mr. Greco?
Nothing further for this witness.
Mr. Holmquist, you are free to leave. Watch your step on my ramp. Thank you for your time. Could you two approach? Thank you, gentlemen. All right, based on our off-record conversation, Mr. Greco, I believe we've got a stipulation if you'd like to place it on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. With the discussion with the court and with the defendant, it's we're going to have a stipulation that he acknowledges that he was intoxicated that evening, and a stipulation to admission of the laboratory report that his blood alcohol level was 0.214 that evening.
I'm not stepping to, that's the reason why I questioned the gentleman. I'm not stepping to a specific level. So I don't know if we may have talked to me if that's up to the crowd.
Are you, okay, I'm just going based on our conversation a minute ago. Are you willing to stipulate that your blood level was 0.17 or higher, which is the only thing he's got to prove? Well, the only element. Oh, all right. I thought that's what you agreed to, so we didn't have to put the two professionals on the stand. That's fine. Okay. Go ahead and call a witness.
Okay. Your Honor, next witness is Officer Christian Otter, the Romulus Police Department.
Officer Otter, come on up. Raise your right hand. Swear affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Watch your step. Make yourself comfortable. Fire when ready, Mr. Greco.
Okay, good morning, officer.
Good morning.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
Yes,
And where are you currently employed?
City of Brownhouse.
Okay, the City of Romulus Police Department.
Yes,
And what is your position of employment?
trained police officer.
Okay, and how long have you worked for the Romulus Police Department?
2 years.
Do you recall you were working on the evening of August 31st, 2020?
Plus.
If you recall being called at the scene of an accident,
Sir,
okay, what do you recall about that?
I recall it was on the west side of the road, here on Township Ambulance, as well as the police department were on scene. And it was in our jurisdiction, so they wanted us to conduct the investigation. Per the ambulance, I believe, they stated the male appeared to be intoxicated. And that was the call once we got.
Okay, so you guys come to the scene to do an investigation, correct?
Correct.
Okay, this was a single vehicle accident?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall what kind of vehicle it was?
A blue, Chevy Monte Carlo.
Okay. And did you encounter a person by the name of Cary Stokes then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who was Cary Stokes that evening?
Cary Stokes was the male in the back of the ambulance who was attempted to be interviewed, who appeared to be very intoxicated.
Okay. Is Mr. Stokes in the courtroom today?
This is,
Are you able to identify?
and he is the male directly behind you.
Yes.
Noted.
Thank you. What kind of interaction did you have with Mr. Stokes that evening, if any, at the scene?
So he was already in the back of the ambulance at the time of our arrival, but attempting to speak with him, his speech was very almost, you couldn't even understand the words he was trying to say.
Okay, so difficult to interview.
Very difficult.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And let me ask you this, as part of your job, have you had the opportunity to encounter individuals that are intoxicated?
So
Okay, and what type of signs of intoxication do people that are intoxicated exhibit?
slurred speech, glossy eyes, very unsteady on their feet.
Now, Mr. Stokes was not on his feet when you got there, but were there signs and symptoms of being intoxicated?
Yes, sir. Slurred speech and odor of alcohol emanating from this person.
All right, so when you get to the scene, what is it that you do? Sounds like you had some interaction with Mr. Stokes, the ambulance, what else?
We also interviewed the passenger of the vehicle.
Okay, so there was another individual there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, looking at the report, looks like the person's name was Jason Porter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so did you make a determination that evening as to who was the driver of the vehicle?
Yes, sir. Spoke to Jason Porter, stated he was the passenger. He was riding inside the vehicle with Mr. Stokes because Mr. Stokes told him he knew where he was going, which is why he was driving.
Officer Otter, I'm gonna hand you what's been marked as People's Exhibit number 1. I ask you to take a moment to take a look at that. What is this exhibit?
This is the picture of the vehicle that ran off the roadway.
Okay. Do you know did you take this picture or did you know a part of it? You know.
I believe my partner took the picture.
Okay. Is this the picture of the defendant's Monte Carlo off the side of the road?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does this photograph accurately depict the scene that evening with the vehicle off the side of the road?
Because
Your Honor, move for recognition of exhibit number 1.
Thank you. Mr. Stokes, any objection to that being admitted? Thank you. That'll come in as People's 1.
As part of your investigation, did you have an opportunity to go into the car?
yes, sir.
Right. Would that be a routine part of the investigation when you're potentially making an arrest for drunk driving?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you recall about going into the car?
In the vehicle, there was multiple bottles of Bud Light. Multiple bottles were actually cold to the touch, appeared to be possibly recently purchased or recently taken out of the fridge. Multiple open containers, as well as empty ones, and new ones as well.
Officer Otter, I'm going to hand you what's been marked as People's Exhibit number 2. And ask you to take a look at that. It's a series of 4 photographs,
Just for the record, 4 pages.
4 pages.
Thank you.
These pictures,
And what are these pictures of?
these pictures are of alcohol that was in the vehicle.
You guys.
You searching it?
Okay. Do these photographs, well, let's go, the first one looks like a photograph with like a Bud Light case and some bottles strewn about. Okay. The second picture, what is that?
Those are the two bottles of Bud Light outside of the packaging they came in.
Okay. Looks like, does it look like they're sweating a little bit? Is that,
Yes.
were they cold to the touch? And what's the third picture?
Third picture is a six pack of Bud Light with bottles missing out of it.
Okay. And then the fourth picture?
Fourth picture is a picture of a open Bud Light in the back seat. Pocket of one of the seats, as well as multiple Bud Light bottles, including a six pack of bottles missing.
Okay. And now you indicated that one of the bottles is open. Which one?
The one in the pocket.
Oh, on the seat right here?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any alcohol in it?
I do not recall exactly.
Okay. Do you recall any open bottles that had alcohol in it?
I do not, but I'm also seeing empty one on the ground as well. There's an empty bottle,
Got it.
Bud Light on the ground.
Do these photographs accurately depict the inside of the defendant's vehicle that evening?
They do.
Your Honor, move for admission of exhibit 2.
Any objection, Mr. Stokes? That'll come in as people's too. Thank you.
And at this time, officer, I'm going to play you a brief video just to make sure we've got.
He's gonna do an, share on screen.
That should come up on that screen right in front of you folks. Should.
You can share, I think it's just on the big screen. Click on share now.
Okay,
Is it coming up?
so
It's not coming up?
No, because
you see,
we have to turn.
Oh, it's just gonna come up there. Okay.
you can see the screen. Oh, okay, there. So, before I'm about to play this video, Officer Otter, does this look, what does this look like? What video does this look like?
It's like the dash cam to one of our patrol cars.
Okay. Now I'm gonna hit play and I'm gonna advance a little bit, so we don't have to see 1 minute of you guys drive. While looking at this video, does this look like Hannon Road?
It does look like Hannon Road. We're approaching the Huron Township vehicles that were already on scene.
You're approaching the intersection, the T-bone intersection, stop it for a minute, of Pennsylvania Road and Hannon Road.
Yes, sir.
So Pennsylvania Road is to the left of the screen, correct?
Correct.
Heading west into Hannon Road, and you're approaching a stop sign at that corner, correct?
Correct.
Now, looking at this video, does this look like the dash cam video of the vehicle that you were in that evening?
That is correct.
That is the vehicle, okay. Now, I stopped it right here. What do we see on the screen here?
See suspect vehicle.
Okay, off to the side of the road as described,
Correct.
okay, and then we see the ambulance to the left.
Yeah.
Correct. This is the scene that you showed up on, correct?
That's correct.
Now, does this video accurately depict what occurred that evening up to this point with the vehicle you encountered?
Yes.
Your Honor, with respect to this portion of the video, we move for admission of exhibit number 3.
Mr. Stokes, any objection?
I only object if that's the conclusion.
Well, that's the only portion he's attempting to get into evidence at this point. What we've seen so far is all he's trying to admit.
The entire radio.
You can,
No, I have no objection to the entire video being played. It's just not, it's gonna be dash cam video of people walking around. And I don't think it's relevant, so I'm not planning on playing it. But Mr. Stokes, we'll play it if you want to play it as part of either your cross-examination or your case in chief.
Yeah, I won't ask you to stop it or anything, I just, the
how long is the video? From here till the end of the,
13, it's 13 minutes.
okay, have you watched this in its entirety?
Yeah, last year.
Okay, so I'm not gonna play 13 minutes of nothing if that's all we're gonna see. Okay, thank you. So any objections to admitting what we've seen, what we've watched? The portion that we've seen? Any objections? You're going to get a chance at that, but at this point, the question is, do you object to this little snippet? I don't know how long we got, 1 minute or whatever it is, of video being admitted as People's number 3 exhibit.
Well, you know why I'm objecting, because I may want to use a portion of it up during cross.
Well, A, you can certainly refer to what's admitted as evidence, just like one of these documents you could do. And if you want to replay what's already admitted, we can replay it. All right, so no objection? Okay, so that portion of the video that we've already seen is admitted as People's number 3.
Absolutely, Your Honor. I wanted to do this just so the jury got a good visual of the scene that that's it, for the purpose of relevance with respect to it.
Go ahead.
Officer Otter, were you able to provide or perform any field sobriety tests on Mr. Stokes that evening?
No, sir, he refused.
And was he kind of strapped down on the gurney by the time you got there?
Yes.
Or at that point in time, once you attempt to interview Mr. Stokes, can't do field sobriety tests, he's already in the ambulance, and you already testified that you went over to the car to take a look at it. What's the next thing that happens at the scene as far as what do you guys do?
So my partner was speaking to the passenger while I began to look in the vehicle. And we conduct an inventory search for the vehicle as well, besides just a suspicion of operating while intoxicated. The vehicle needed to be impounded, so I was conducting my inventory search when I located all the open alcohol as well as the closed alcohol that was in there.
Okay. And then, once you do your investigation, do the inventory, we saw the photographs of the beer bottles in the car. What's the next thing that happens with respect to the case, like procedurally, time-wise?
Time-wise, we read them their PI 177, which is their chemical test rights. They have the right to refuse or say, they submit to a test, so refuse. So we went back to the station and got a search warrant while he was being transported to Below Taylor.
Okay, so you're saying, in your testimony, the DI 177, that's the chemical test rights to consent to either a blood draw or an intoxicant, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you're saying that he refused.
Correct.
Okay, and then at that point in time, you're saying that he's then, because it concludes that scene, transported to Corwell Health Taylor.
Correct.
And what do you guys do with the vehicle?
We impound the vehicle. I believe it was towed by Pro Towing. And then we went back to the station to complete our search warrant.
Okay. And then once the search warrant is completed, what's the next thing that happens?
The next step is you make a copy so you can give it to the people at the hospital, so they have a copy of it. You go to the station you go to the hospital and you give it to the RN or whoever is able to perform the blood draw, provide them the search warrant, and they collect his blood.
Okay. And as far as presence during the blood draw or collection, would that be you or Officer Max?
It would have been Officer Matheson.
And then once the blood's drawn, we'll get into that with Mr. Matheson, other than, creating a report, does that basically conclude your investigation for the evening?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Stokes, questions for Officer Otter?
Yes. You stated that you were called to the scene of the accident. And so that and video shows you speeding to the scene. You stated that upon your arrival, I was already.
That's correct.
I assume that you're unaware of who called me.
I'm unaware, that's correct.
Then, you said you're a partner, Madison. Were you guys traveling in different vehicles or?
We're in the same vehicle.
Yeah, we're in the same vehicle. Okay. Meeting that actually when she was basically your policy.
I do not recall my exact actions, but I probably went over to passenger of the vehicle, as well as when checked on you based on the statements from the officers on scene, as well as the paramedics. As far as after talking to you,
Yes.
just went, did my search of the vehicle and gathered more information that I needed.
So you have dash cam video from your vehicle, which is clear. Were you wearing a body cam?
Was,
Do you have body cam footage? Did you take this?
body cam footage from me, that's correct.
Okay. Do you have body cam footage of you searching the vehicle?
There's going to be bits of it because you need to shut the video off to take pictures, but. So when I was taking pictures of the open intox, I needed to shut the recording part off in order to take photographs.
It didn't seem more practical to take video and then photo.
I can't attach video to my reports, I attach photographs.
That's what I'm saying. You started the video. You said that you started the video and then instant searching the video. And then you said you shut the body cam off to take pictures.
That's correct.
So when you shut the body cam off, were you gonna take a video?
And what I needed to see inside the vehicle, yes, there's most likely going to be video of the open intox, so I need to take specific pictures to show the empty cans, the full cans. In fact, they were still cold, the sweat on them. I need to take individual photographs of cans reported, because I can't attach recordings to my reports.
Right, so what I'm trying to establish here is that you started taking video, then you stopped it, and then you took pictures, and then you started video again.
That is correct.
That's what I'm asking you, would have been more practical to either take the photos first or take the video first, so that you wouldn't have to interrupt that video.
How am I supposed to know there was open intox in the vehicle before I went in there to take photographs?
Well, you would have proceeded with the video, that would have shown.
I was initially recording when I went inside the vehicle. When I observed the open intox, I needed to take photographs. So I needed to stop my video to take photographs.
Stopping the video isn't because you wanted to stage something.
That is correct, sir. You can see in our dash cam, as well as my own body cam that gets turned on immediately after I take photos, that I don't carry open intox in my patrol car to place in other people's vehicles.
Now, I would say you placed there, I'm just saying.
You're accusing me of staging.
Perhaps stage scene.
No, sir. Everything in the vehicle remained the exact same spot. Everything that was in there before I got there was the same after. There was nothing that,
I mean, that's your testimony now.
that's the case, yes, sir.
Okay. You now here is courtroom. You're telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir, as can be seen on video.
Okay. Now let's fast forward to your police report. Did you or Officer Matheson comply with this police report, or did you guys?
I wrote the police report.
You wrote the,
That's correct.
okay. And you tell the truth, the whole truth?
Yes.
Here on page 4 of 7. It says on one line where it says relationship, it says Cary Stokes was the driver of the vehicle. Jason Darnell Porter was the passenger of the vehicle that stated that Cary Stokes was the driver of the vehicle.
That is correct.
Why was your video on the interview of the support?
Mr. Porter was interviewed, as you can see on the top, by my partner.
What was the video?
There's gotta be body cam footage of it.
We can turn the overall body cam footage, whether someone's on or off, I don't know. Sometimes they're on or off during lead information, whatever it is, sometimes. So you turn them off, turn them on. Sometimes they don't go on. You know, there's some video with regard to Matheson. There is no video with respect to the viewers reporter.
Real quick, I just wanted to touch on it's your alleged interaction with me. You said that you said on the record, you also said this report that I refuse the PUT.
That's correct.
You still testify.
He did refuse the PBT, that is correct.
Okay. Well, right here in the police report, under where it says PUT, it said not taken due to circumstances of him needing medical treatment for his mostly unresponsive state. Officers believe this to be consistent with being highly intoxicated, as well as supposed beer bottles in the vehicle. So,
If he's gonna read excuse me, objection, if he's gonna read in portions of the police report, the officer see it.
yeah.
Go ahead. You can approach. You can approach.
You have a copy?
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you.
Mr. Craig, the response to that, it's the same as inevitable discovery. Your inability to even speak with us, the same as a refusal. You were never charged with a refusal, you were never written a citation for it, you were never attempted to be charged with it, but you not being able to speak or talk to us is a refusal. You are not able to consider this. If you are unable to talk to us and say, yes, I'm willing to take this because of your high level of intoxication, that's the same as I put in there that, you know, we didn't charge you with refusal, but it was inevitably refused because if you weren't able to take it. Because you couldn't speak.
I'm saying it says who?
Says him. He's testifying. That's what he's explaining to you.
Like, is there something in the protocol? Is there some type of rule that says that?
If you are unable to complete a certain task based on your level of intoxication or just, you know, if you had someone with, for instance, if you had an individual who was paralyzed, you can't ask them to do the walking turn. That's not, they can't do that. That's not a legitimate request. So if I'm requesting you to take a PBT and you can't even speak, that's a refusal. You can't do it.
That would be an inability.
And just to clarify, you were never charged with it. We never tried to charge you with refusal.
No, I never said.
But you not speaking to us could be perceived as a refusal.
I was speaking, you just couldn't hear.
Okay, it's Q&A. You're gonna get a chance to make all the argument you want to when you testify, if you testify. But this is just Q&A. He's answered the question.
Um, Okay, I want to direct your attention to page 507, the very top paragraph. It says, Huron Valley Ambulance employee, Cody on place. And Laura Key, previously testified, had advised that there was a male later identified as Stokes, was originally uncooperative and refused to get out of the driver's seat of the vehicle. Huron Township Valley Ambulance, no, I'm sorry, okay. Yeah.
That the ambulance.
The ambulance later advised that they were able to get the male out of the driver's seat and took him in the ambulance due to his mostly unresponsive behavior due to his high levels of intoxication. It seems, I want to ask you, but it seems as though you're alleging your report that Mr. Coley and Ms. Laura observed me in the driver's seat of the vehicle. Is that correct?
I do not have my Cat D card with me, but the original call that we got, the phone notes that we have, I do believe, said that exact thing, that there was a male in the driver's seat who was uncooperative, who was not getting out of the vehicle, and then they were able to get him out.
Who said informed you of that?
Yeah, our dispatch notes, I believe, reflect that.
Your dispatch.
That is correct.
So why would you send a report to your dispatch? You named.
I don't have it under an interview. I'm not putting that word to someone else's mouth. I'm simply saying the dispatch notes that we got stated that. Yeah, that's my recollection. That's what our dispatch notes said.
So why would you name two people specific?
Because that's originally, we got called by the ambulance is what I was originally told. I cannot verify that.
So you can't verify that anyone, let alone Cody or observed in the drivers.
I actually, unfortunately, they were not seeing it. This was later found out that a police officer did observe you in the driver's seat. A Huron Township police officer observed you in the driver's seat.
Well, what you, Ron, you look as far as to specifically name these people? Why wouldn't you go as far as to name that specific officer?
It was later discovered after what was already turned in and submitted.
Well, there is a such thing as an amendment.
I cannot go back and edit my reports to my groups.
You're say that him saying that another officer said that that's hearsay because he had no evidence of any officer saying that. He has no evidence, that's hearsay.
Okay, well, hearsay is only important if there's an objection, and there's no objection, but your record, you've made a note for the record. Okay. Mr. Greco?
And he's asking the question.
Right.
Rules in court is that if you ask a question, you might get an answer that you don't like, so you're supposed to be careful of the questions that you ask.
Yeah, and it's out. It's out.
But I do have an objection, just for the record, with respect to the report. I mean, generally speaking, I'm allowing and not objecting to the report and all the things coming in. These are imperfect things that are written at the beginning of an investigation and why they're generally not admissible in court. However, I'm giving Mr. Stokes some leeway to ask these questions.
Understood.
I'm trying, I don't know how to, because it's very, have this complaint that he wrote, it's
Mr. Stokes, I've already ruled on the complaint.
set up. How am I? This is all, like.
Mr. Stokes, that's the fact that you don't know how process works. That's on you. You've chosen to represent yourself. I'm not, my job is not to educate you on trial practice today. My job is to run the trial. So move on with your questions for the officer unless you're done.
Well, Mr. Cody and Miss Laura, just so you know, testified to the fact that when they showed up, I was out of the.
That is correct, but your own friend on scene said that he was the passenger, that you were the driver.
Right, but. Well,
Okay, Q&A. It's not argument. It's Q&A.
so. The gentleman that was with me was interviewed. You said you didn't interview the partner. So where were you when the partner was talking to this court?
I was most likely in an ambulance to you because they were stating they were very irate and giving them problems, so I wanted to stand by in case they needed assistance.
So as it stands, you yourself, would you refer to yourself as the arresting officer?
I am the arresting officer, that is correct.
So at that point, you had no concrete evidence of who was driving that car.
Mr. Stokes, a completely sober man, tells me that he was the passenger of a vehicle, was just involved in an accident, and that the reason you were driving specifically, he referred to you because you knew where you were going, as well as the vehicle also being signed in your name. And I believe that's enough evidence to arrest you for operating while intoxicated.
Okay, so let's establish at what point were not placed under arrest.
You were placed under arrest when we determined you were the driver.
And you didn't, witness that burn again.
That is correct, but I was writing a report, I wrote in there what he told me. I'm using a fellow officer's verbal statement in my report.
Okay, but again, this report was done, if it was created on 11/20/24.
To 11/20.
Right, that's probably the friend's date.
8/31/2024.
What is,
On the initial offense page, where it shows you the date and time.
Is that page one, officer?
Yes.
Thank you.
you stated that, you said that, and, completely sober individual tells you that someone was driving, you tend to believe that first.
Let me rephrase just for the record in general, but when a male who appears to be sober states he is the passenger of the vehicle and that he alluded to you and you weren't driving only because you told him where you were going, because you guys were headed back to Ohio. That is the statement we gained from him. That was one of the things we used to put you in the driver's seat, considering there's only two of you there.
You didn't think to give him,
You showing no sign of intoxication. What's my reasoning?
so you already stated that you have difficulty, speaking with me.
You were having difficulty speaking. I was talking with you just fine.
Well, understanding me, sorry.
Yes. Yep.
Did you have any further, interaction with that night?
After the blood draw, we left, you know, the hospital, because we believed your VAC was so high, it was possibly needed to be evaluated by medical professionals.
Okay. Again, did we have a conversation while you were there?
After the blood draw, we left, we did not, no,
You didn't have any conversation?
not to my knowledge,
Or to your recollection?
not to my recollection, I do not believe I had any conversation with you, no.
Did you have body cam footage for that? You will have to send a half body cam footage. Person involved in the hospital.
But what, sorry,
I can clarify, it's Officer Madison that you think.
He was one. Okay, so you didn't have a conversation here.
I did not.
So. The gentleman that was riding, he told the car that I was shot. You guys don't on this word.
You are also the, not necessarily the owner of the vehicle, but you signed it over in your name, which would also mean you're most likely the one who's gonna be driving it.
That's the point that I'm trying to get to.
Right, so we have his verbal statements.
To be speculation.
No, our facts put together. If you have two people saying, you know, I did this or he did this, we know that operating while intoxicated generally puts people in an impaired state where they cannot operate a motor vehicle, which is why it's legal. It is not very common to get someone running off the road there. That is the first accident in 2 years, Pennsylvania and that I have handled. 2 whole years, I've had to be because of what we believe to be an intoxicated driver. It is a hazard.
You saying.
Majority of the drivers do
You're
not.
saying. You're saying words like. We tend to believe, or, you know, things like that.
Your Honor, I'm gonna object this.
I
Questioning is argumentative.
I have no further.
Okay. Do you have any redirect for this officer? Officer, you can sit down. Watch your step. Next witness.
The Constitution calls Officer Marcus Madison.
Thanks, Tim. Officer, all the way up front. Raise your right hand. Swear affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Watch your step on the ramp. Settle in that chair. When you're ready, Mr. Greco.
Good morning, officer. Morning. You currently employed?
I am.
Where are you currently employed?
Romulus Police Department,
Okay, and what's your position of employment there?
police officer,
All right, how long have you worked?
2 years.
Were you working on the evening of August 31st, 2024? And was your partner that evening Officer Christian Otter?
He was.
You recall responding to a scene of a single vehicle automobile accident at the corner of Pennsylvania and Hannah Road?
Yes.
Okay, that was in the city of Romulus, correct? And I think we've established through other testimony that you have been in here for that originally Huron Valley or Huron Township was called, and then you, correct me?
Yes.
And is it true that Huron Township and the ambulance was already on the scene when you guys got there?
They were.
Do you recall encountering the person by the name of Cary Stokes that evening?
I do.
Okay, is Mr. Stokes in the courtroom today?
He is.
And where is he situated?
He is directly behind you, sitting at the table.
Noted.
What was your interaction with Mr. Cary or Mr. Stokes that evening at the scene, from what you recall?
I didn't have a ton of interactions with Mr. Stokes. I
Okay.
was out on the scene,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the accident track, looking at the wheels for the crash report. I was going to be assisting my partner with the crash report.
Okay.
And at one point I spoke with a passenger in the vehicle
Okay.
who is not present. And other than that, I saw Mr. Stokes in the ambulance. And the extent of my interactions, I believe.
Okay, and you spoke with the passenger, was it Mr. Jason Porter?
It was.
Okay. And did you have any conversation with him regarding who was driving the vehicle?
I did.
Okay, and who did he indicate was driving?
Mr. Porter indicated that he was the passenger in the car and that he was not driving.
All right, so you indicated, at least for your involvement, you did not have much interacting with Mr. Stokes at the scene.
On the scene.
On the scene, correct. He was in the ambulance already when you got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At some point in time, I think you established that the ambulance took Mr. Stokes to the Taylor Corwell Health Taylor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you end up at Corwell Health Taylor?
I did.
Okay, and what was the purpose of you being there?
We were going to conduct a blood draw for Mr. Stokes.
Okay, because your understanding, there was a suspicion of drunk driving, correct? Part of your investigation and Chris Anonymous investigation, correct? Okay, so what's the process for a blood draw? What, explain to the jury, like, why are we doing a blood draw? What's up?
So there's multiple ways. Once you're under the arrest for the charge of drinking and driving, or OWI, you have a few things. It's implied consent in the state of Michigan. When you get a driver's license, there's implied consent that says that you must submit to a chemical test. That chemical test can be breath, blood, or urine. The chemical test is optional on the scene, but it is required by the state of Michigan. I know that sounds kind of contradictory. All right, so we read people the form that the state of Michigan provides us.
Addressing the jury.
He's answering the question, but it is becoming narrative, so let's do Q&A.
So you explained that you start to read the chemical test rights, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the chemical test right inform the individual of their rights, correct?
Yes, sir.
And inform them of their consequences with respect to reviews, right?
Yes, sir.
In this case, did he refuse consent to a chemical test?
He did.
Okay. So once that happened, what did you do, or what happened?
With this case, before we made the hospital,
Yeah.
we preemptively applied for a search warrant and were granted a search warrant in case we got a refusal.
Okay.
So we showed at the hospital with the search warrant in hand, and the search warrant was presented for a blood draw.
Okay. So at this point in time, officer, play a video. Okay, so first of all, officer, so we can hear the audio, so there's gonna be a little bit of an echo, because I'm on Zoom as well. So first of all, officer, we started playing the recording. Do you recognize it?
Yes,
Does it, we see some sheets of paper and some hands. Is that your hands?
those are my hands.
Is this your body cam video?
It is.
And where are you going?
I'm walking into the emergency room of Corwell Taylor Hospital.
And it looks like you're looking at some sheets of paper. What are those sheets of paper?
I have a DI 177, which is the consent for blood draw, and a DI 93, which is a refusal for a blood draw or a chemical test.
Yeah, the looks, I stopped, it looks like you went into a room in the emergency room, so it's not like an admitted hospital room, you're still in that area, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and it looks like there's somebody laying under some white sheets there, who is that?
that's Mr. Stokes.
Oh,
The man that comes around is the environment, okay? Get that done and over with, so you can get back to sleep, okay? I gotta read you some.
everyone here?
Turn off the clean sheet, okay? I gotta read what the word first, okay? You were arrested for the offense of operating vehicle while intoxicated due to consumption of alcohol and liquor, a controlled substance, or other intoxicating substance, or combination. I require you that you take a chemical test, check for alcohol and or controlled substances or intoxicating substances in your body. If you were asked to take or took a preliminary breath test before your arrest, you must still take the test I am offering. If you refuse to take this chemical test, it will not be given without a court order, but I may seek to obtain such a court order. Your refusal to take this test shall result in suspension of your operator's or chauffeur's license, designation, or operating privilege, and be admitted to 6 points to your driver. After taking my chemical test, you have the right to demand that a person of your own choosing administer a breath blood or urine test. You will be given a reasonable opportunity for such a test. You are responsible for obtaining a chemical analysis of the test taken by a person of your own choosing. The results of all chemical tests shall be admissible in judicial proceeding and will be considered with other medical evidence in determining your innocence or guilt. Will you take a blood test? So I'm going to explain to you in layman's terms, okay?
It was hard to understand Mr. Stokes, do you recall what he said?
Not exactly, no.
Okay. But based upon your response, it sounds like
It was a refusal.
yeah.
What this means is that if you refuse, I'm going to get a search warrant for your blood, so I'm going to get your blood, okay? I'm already, I have this first hand on it, okay? So if you refuse, what's going to happen is your license is going to be automatically suspended, will not have a driver's license anymore, okay? And you're going to get 6 points added to your driver, whether you're drunk or not, okay? Okay.
Now, just for a moment, this is a drunk driving case, and you made a statement regarding what the points were be for a penalty for a refusal. That's separate and apart from drunk driving. That's the law if you refuse a chemical test, correct?
Yes, sir.
We're not here about that.
Correct.
Okay.
Which then you have to a chemical test, a blood test. What? All right, your license is going to be suspended immediately. Yeah.
Now, officer, looking at this video, it looks like that you're now dealing with nurses. You read them as chemical rights. What's happening now?
So right now I'm retrieving search warrant to provide to the nurses so they can add the search warrant to their records so they can get the blood draw. Make sure that that search warrant is signed and official before they do the blood draw.
Here, it looks like you're just making sure the paperwork is correct.
So while waiting for the blood draw, I don't actively participate in the blood draw. While waiting for the blood draw to be done, I started filling out the mandatory paperwork. That's a DI 93, which is the refusal form.
You get to be part of the use of. You.
Okay. You just held up a box. Yes. And you said the word seal. Yes. What are you doing?
I'm presenting that box to the nurses, and I presented it to Mr. Stokes, asking, ensuring that the box is sealed from the state of Michigan. The integrity seal is still on.
Okay. And what is the box?
The box is the blood draw kit.
Okay. I think we refer to it as the MSD Michigan State Police blood draw kit.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the kit that's presented to the hospital for a blood draw.
Yes.
Right. And the reason why it's sealed is for procedural protection, to make sure there's clean instruments in it to do it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so officer, at this time in the video, it looks like you guys have opened the kit, are getting the paperwork together, your side, the nurse's side, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you recall there being an issue with the search warrant that evening?
I recall there being an issue. I do not recall what the issue was.
Okay. If somebody, do you recall if there was a slight pause in getting the correct search warrant, or there was something that was a problem with the name or something?
There was a slight pause with the search warrant, with the blood draw procedure.
Okay.
Once the issue with the search warrant was brought to my attention, I put a pause in the room on the blood draw and did not let it proceed until the search warrant was received by hospital staff.
Well, yeah, I thought.
You guys know that we did ask. Oh, they promised. Oh, they already do? Oh, I thought we, okay, totally.
This sounds like a discussion about where the individual was, could have taken to a different medical facility.
Yeah, so we normally use Corwell Lane. The ambulance decided to take them to Corwell Lane.
They told me that they would watch it and not keep watching it.
I literally said, we have to so much.
Your Honor, and to Mr. Stokes, there's 2 minutes left in this video that then stops, so I'm just gonna play it through this way.
That's fine.
Um. Yeah.
Is this where you're having a discussion with Officer Hunter about the name and you?
I am.
Right, comes in here, now. And we're hopefully on, Abigail's gonna be nice to meet on, maybe Allie, all right, all right, then.
So this would be about sending the correct search warrant for the,
Yes.
So that way, we get the, I don't.
Okay, Officer Madison. So the video has now stopped with Alright, the video has been stopped with respect to this encounter as you guys are waiting for the search warrant. Correct? Right, so you put a pause like you would indicate on the nurses. What's the next thing that happened?
The nurse, I believe her name is, received the search warrant in her email, printed it, brought it into the room. It was ensured that it was valid and these.
And then, and the nurse, Abigail Monroe, is one who actually does the blood draw with the equipment,
Yeah.
correct? And what is your role and her role with regard to the kit that happens at the hospital there?
So my role is to just monitor and make sure I'm marking the times that the tubes are drawn. And then at the end, she initials them. And once the blood draw is complete, the seals are put on it, the box is boxed up. The seal, the shipping integrity seal is placed on the kit, and the kit is placed in outgoing mail at the Romulus Police Department.
So you take it from the hospital after it's sealed and initialed by you and the nurse, take it back to the Romulus Police Department, and then put it in the mail to the state lab for it to be tested.
Yes, sir.
And at that point in time, other than perhaps some paperwork, does that really conclude your involvement in the case?
Yes.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Mr. Stokes, questions for this officer?
Yes.
Right. So I forgot to move for admission of exhibit, what exhibit are we on?
The body cam footage, number 4. That would be people's 4.
Move for admission. Before.
Mr. Stokes, any objections? That'll come in as people's 4. Thank you. Your witness, Mr. Stokes.
So that was some other news you stated in the lab, how many years it's been on the force of it was
2 years with the Romulus Police Department.
2 years.
Yep.
Okay, now I, cross examined you, first of all, let me add was, Officer Howard, your partner, the question.
He wasn't.
Okay. Now, your partner informed this board that, the two of you, jointly comprise, the, police report, is that correct?
He wrote the police report, yes, sir.
You had no,
I did not write the police report, no, sir.
you had no, at all, in writing.
I did not write the police report. I gave him my accounts of my discussion.
So you you have the copy of, that so that he can follow. Okay, I want to. I have your partner. Officer Oakley. Well, I mistakenly, that this report was created, 11/20/24. And he, Mr. Officer Otter, brought to my attention that the date and time of the report is on the front page there. And it says, 8/31/2024. You agree that that was around the time of the report was written?
That's the time that the incident occurred.
It's, yeah, because it says report date and time. Occurrence date and time. They're identical.
Yes, sir, the reported time when this started and the occurrence time. So how this works is sometimes a crime can be reported that happened last week. So we're reporting it on today's date, but the crime occurred the week previous. So that's why it's written that way. Sometimes it can be the same, sometimes it can be different. That's not the time that the report is written, it's the time that it is reported.
The way this has specific boxes, it says occurrence date and time. 8/31/2024 at the hour of 10 p.m.
10:45, yes,
10:45 p.m.
yes,
So this is a report, a police report,
yes, sir.
okay? If you guys put this information that,
Well, I'm going to object to this line of questioning, for the reason of lack of foundation with respect to Mr. Stokes' question. It's okay, because we're going to explain. These are police reports that are police report forms. If you get into the form, like Officer Madison testified in the front, if you get into the form where the narratives and the information is provided, it is specifically documented where the narrative is on when it was written. Your Honor, so my objection is this lack of foundation with respect to any insinuation that actual times and dates.
Sustained. Next question.
okay. We'll move on for that because, at best, we said this arbitrary, but it's, I don't know.
Just move on. You don't have to explain why you're moving on.
Okay. We had, Huron Valley ambulance, employees, Mr. Coley, home force, and, Laura. Steve, are you familiar with this?
Hi.
And in this police report, on page 507, it states, it says, Huron Valley ambulance employee Cody Humphreys or Steve advised that there was a male later identified as Stokes for originally uncooperative and refused to get out of the driver's seat of the vehicle. The whole same computer was completely issued. Later advised that they were able to get the male out of the driver's seat and took him in the ambulance due to his mostly unresponsive behavior due to high levels of intoxication. Did you advise Officer Otter of that information, or did he admit that on his own?
I did not write the report, so I did not put that information in the report, sir.
You did right, you did advise him.
I did not advise him on this part. The only part I advised him in is noted in the report.
What can you state for the record, what part you were involved?
The passengers heading on the same page, page 5 of 7.
Okay, so you have video footage of your interaction with me at the hospital,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
All of this video is part of the investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it is not only your duty, but to be fair, you want to submit everything, and you want to record, you want to gather as much evidence as possible, correct?
Always, sir.
Okay, so where's the video of you interviewing Mr. Porter?
I am not aware of it, sir.
Now, Officer Otter testified that after the initial encounter, he received additional information. Did you receive any additional information?
I don't know what information you're talking about, so you'd have to refresh my memory.
I'm just asking you first, did you receive any additional information after the initial?
So I deal with case after case after case every night. I cannot specifically recall any details of yours coming up afterwards.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Peter Greco was kind enough to point out in here the date and time of this record. We did this source, I said, showdown from the state. The date and time was 9/1/2024 at 12:25 a.m. So that's pretty much shortly after, because
Okay, Q&A. You got a witness, it's Q&A. Q&A.
so the date and time for this report, it was written at 9/1/2024 at 12:25 a.m. So that's the next day. It was late anyway.
Q&A, Mr. Stokes, you testify. Q&A.
Officer Howard testified that, after I was, spoke with, Mr. Porter, and Mr. Porter, alluding to the fact that I was driving, you guys at that point just took his word.
We put it in the report. He stated that he was the passenger in the car. And he was the only other person besides yourself who was present on the scene.
So he took his word without the traffic.
We put it in the reports.
We did more than put him in the court, you were arrested. So we did more, put him.
So we take what we have for probable cause, and we made an arrest with probable cause. Yes, sir.
Right, okay. So now there was two individuals, present in the car. We know this, myself, Mr. Porter. Y'all interviewed him. Y'all asked him, who's driving. How come y'all come trying to ask me who's driving?
With the limited interactions that I had with you, Mr. Stokes, you were extremely uncooperative in the ambulance, and the ambulance needed to get you to the hospital for treatment. So your treatment was more paramount than that interview at that moment.
So my treatment, I called you,
Okay, Q and A. Last time I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Stokes.
just decided to arrest me.
Mr. Stokes, I'm gonna make you sit down unless you ask him a question. I don't want to hear any more testimony from you from the podium. Well, then take direction, and you're not taking direction. Q and A.
So, just to go back. Off of his word alone, y'all arrested me. I'm just trying to establish. Off of his word alone, y'all arrested me.
We had a witness who was willing to speak with us and someone who was uncooperative. So based on the information we had at hand, we made the call that we had probable cause to make an arrest.
But y'all proceeded with that arrest. How come y'all didn't make a follow-up interview with me? Y'all just arrested me, charged me. Y'all never asked me, why didn't y'all ever ask me who was driving?
You were at the hospital, we were doing our side, the paperwork side, to obtain a search warrant for your blood.
What's that?
We were doing our paperwork after we established probable cause to make an arrest.
Mhm.
And then we went to the station to do our paperwork in order to obtain a search warrant.
Okay, can you, describe the method of how you go about getting a search warrant?
Sure. Essentially, what we do is we gather our probable cause. We present that information to a judge. The judge gets it via email through a form that is made for us by the Romulus Police Department. We fill in the answers to the questions on that form, and then we send that to the judge to review. And then if the judge approves, the judge sends that search warrant back to us signed through email, and then we have a search warrant.
So, do you recall what you put in that report, that you submitted to the judge who signed something?
I did not do the search warrant, sir. I did not author the search warrant.
You didn't know?
I did not author the search warrant.
You didn't know? Are you aware who did?
I am. Officer Otter.
Also, okay.
Yes,
Okay. But you were the one who think that it was me?
correct.
Okay. Or take the court here, again, why you felt the need to be so thorough to do all this body cam footage for the, search warrant, where you didn't care to have a video with you entering this book.
So my body camera is automatically connected to the car I'm in. When the lights are on and I open my door, the body camera turns on. It's automatic. I don't turn it on or off when I exit a car with the lights on. So if the body camera was recording and it's not presented as evidence, I can't testify as to why it's not here. But if the body camera is connected properly to the car, then it records when I exit the car with the lights on automatically, or I can double tap my chest like so, which will turn my body camera on, which is inside of my vest.
Okay, so either two. Would you say that you, first of all, wait, let me backtrack. Did you, submit all of the body cam footage to prosecution?
That's not my responsibility, sir. That gets uploaded to the cloud automatically. I have no part in uploading or deleting. I cannot delete footage. I have no part in uploading. It uploads automatically.
It uploads automatically. And it records automatically through the services you just outlined.
Yes, sir.
So would you say that your body cam footage of the interview with Porter is in the cloud and that it's available to not only your police department, but prosecution?
I'm unaware, sir.
You're unaware.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Why do you think all of this footage exists as evidence in this case? And your body cam footage in this report is that part of it? It's really an opinion question.
Mr. Stokes, I don't answer opinionated questions in court. I answer fact of matter questions, okay?
Okay. Well, so I'm asking you that question. Is the fact of the matter that that footage got recorded and that footage is in the cloud?
That I'm not sure of, sir.
You know?
Correct.
You're asking questions. I'm not gonna get mad if you're asking questions.
Yeah.
Mr. Greco, any follow-up with this officer?
Officer, Mr. Stokes seems to be indicating with his questions that he didn't get a proper opportunity to speak with you, correct? Yes, sir. Like, that's the way I heard it. We just watched the video of you in the hospital with him, correct?
Yes, sir.
Reading him his chemical rights, correct?
Yes, sir.
Asking him questions,
Yes.
correct? At any time during that time, did he indicate that he was not the driver of the vehicle?
No, sir.
At any time, did he indicate that somebody else was driving the vehicle?
No, sir.
Did he ever deny being, driving the vehicle that evening as far as your interaction with him,
No, sir.
including what was on video at the hospital? So he would have had an opportunity, if he wanted to give his version of events, to tell you right then and there, correct?
Yes.
And he did not do that.
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any recross, Mr. Stokes?
The prosecutor just asked you, did I volunteer any information? And you said, no, at the hospital, did I volunteer any information at the hospital? And you said, no. I think that's what we are, in fact.
Yes, sir.
Now, why was it that you didn't take the liberty of that time to ask? The investigation was still ongoing, right?
I was doing something that was a time-sensitive matter. That blood draw, to get the most accurate reading on a blood draw, is a time-sensitive matter. So we were there to get the blood draw. That was my official purpose at the hospital.
Okay. So why was it time sensitive?
Because alcohol in the system metabolizes. And as you get further away from the time of incident, the body metabolizes that alcohol, and the true reading of what the alcohol was in the bloodstream at the time of incident will be lower the longer you wait from the incident.
It's funny you said that. I have a medical report from that night. I was about to take a look at what I referred to.
Where, what, why, when? Question.
Okay. To this medical report. Go to the Huron Valley ambulance, I arrived.
You're testifying. You're testifying. You're going to read something out of the report. This witness is up here to answer your question. So ask him a question.
I'm there to let him put it in question form.
Then put it in question form or sit down.
Put it in question. This police report, medical report states, myself,
You're on objection. I'm gonna start objection here on hearsay. You can't be reading reports and everything, and we're giving some leeway. This is not even this witness's report. Objection hearsay.
Sustained. Ask him a question.
trying to ask him a question in regard to him giving me a chance to get my side of.
Didn't ask him the question. What's that report got to do with his interaction with you? It's not his report. You can step down, officer. Watch your step. Did you folks talk about lunch? Did you come up with any kind of consensus? Do you want to keep working and see how it goes? I think from my earlier conversation, Mr. Greco might have 2 more witnesses. What do you think? Because you can always change your mind. You can tell me keep working and then you can change your mind. Okay? You want a break now or are you going to need a break at some point? Right now? Yeah, we can give you a break. Yeah. Jamie, give him a quick break.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of part 1 of Mr. Cary Stokes' trial. We've seen a lot of testimony from the paramedics, from the officers, which basically were confirming blood alcohol level, the fact that he was intoxicated, constantly trying to argue that he wasn't the one driving, but the paramedics testified that he was heavily intoxicated, beer bottles all over the car, had the passenger testify when he kept trying to say that he wasn't the driver. Passenger confirmed that he was the driver, but it sounds like, Mr. Stokes at the time, hopefully that was at the time, hopefully it still isn't so, definitely had a serious drinking problem to the point of where he absolutely, could have hurt somebody out there driving the way that he was driving, his behavior, him acting aggressive and all of these things. But what it also taught us is that, for sovereign citizens, defendants, or whoever, this is why they tell you don't try to represent yourself. I mean, he's doing okay, but he's not doing himself a good service here. just because of all the evidence that's against him. You know, he wanted to bring up jurisdiction a little bit and so on and so forth. But obviously, like always, none of that worked. And we still have another part to this trial to go. And I'm going to be sharing that. But just wanted to give that little bit of commentary on it. It's really not much to be said. You guys saw everything that happened, everything that was said, everything that was presented. But like I said before, I wanted to make sure that I showed this trial to you guys, and that you got an opportunity to see it. I wish I would have covered Mr. Stokes in the past, but I didn't get a chance. And when I went back and tried to get some of his appearances from the other judges, I was unable to find them because they had already took them down, unfortunately. But listen, nothing else to be said. As always, I appreciate you guys joining me here at Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. Stay tuned for part 2 that will be later on, if you are watching this on the day that this dropped. If not, just look in the description and you'll be able to find the link that will bring you to the second part once it drops. So thank you once again, guys. And for now, Sovereign Citizens Court is adjourned. I'll see you guys soon, and God bless.